guys, welcome to the first edition of the Cubby Perspective. My name is Andrew, and I'm very excited to be here with you guys. My intention with the Cubby Perspective is to simply inform you guys on the current state of the Chicago Cubs and offer opinions. That's it. I'm not looking to do a whole lot, make some fun videos here and there, but strictly talk about the Cubs. And I'm not going to take too much of your time up, maybe like 15 minutes after every game, break down what happened and whatnot. So it should be a lot of fun. My passion includes the Chicago Cubs. I love every aspect about baseball. I'm in two fantasy leagues that I take very seriously. I try and watch as many Cubs games as I humanly can. Ask anyone I know. I try and go to a ton of games throughout the year because who doesn't want to be at Wrigley on a nice, hot, sunny day in the bleachers, really? So, my passion is the Cubs, and I really feel as if I could offer a whole lot to you guys on that. Something unique and fun about myself is that I joined the Marine Corps at 22 years old, and where I was stationed allowed me to see a lot of ballparks, such as Camden Yards. Washington D.C. I forgot the name of their ballpark, but Fenway, Citi Field, Yankee Stadium, PNC Park. So it definitely was quite the experience. I'm very grateful for that. Because who wouldn't want to go check out a bunch of ballparks? I watched the Cubs travel. I watched the Cubs play in damn near all those ballparks. So yeah, it was quite the ride, I'd say. My main goal is to have fun with you guys on this. Like I said earlier, I'm not looking to have a payday or whatnot. I'm doing this just to have fun, really. And if this transpires into something greater someday, then great. But I love baseball so much. I feel as if I could offer so much more than what I am. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this takes me. I plan on breaking down every game, so maybe like 7 to 15 minute episodes. Nothing crazy. I don't want to take too much time. Me and my buddies, we already attempted to do a podcast, and we were talking for 2 to 3 hours, and it was a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed ourselves. But uh, kind of realized maybe 3 hours is a bit too long. People tend to lose interest. So I think for this one, I'm going to keep it shorter, more impactful, more quicker based and stuff like that. Talk about some key points throughout the game. So yeah, and that's it. That is my intentions with the Cubby Perspective. I hope you guys enjoyed and be patient. Like for example, I bought this ring light at Best Buy the other day, and it's kind of pissing me off that the glare through my glasses is showing that. I'd have to wear my contacts, which I don't like wearing contacts. So that is one thing I will have to figure out, no doubt. And yeah, simple as that. I'm happy to be here. Let's get this thing started, baby. All right, right before we start, I do want to add that I intended on starting the Cubby Perspective on game one of the season, but I couldn't because I was actually in Tokyo, Japan, watching the Cubs play out there. So I actually traveled out there with some of my buddies, and I saw the Cubs play out there. It was an awesome experience. The Japanese people are truly awesome people. The food was great. The experience was great. The Tokyo Dome was absolutely beautiful. Beyond it blew away all expectations, really. Something fun about the game that I like to share with you guys is so when their pitcher's pitching, the entire stadium is so quiet that you could hear someone having a conversation from literally across the stadium. These headphones, I don't know what they're doing, but they keep falling out of my ear. It's kind of annoying. But regardless, back on topic, you could hear a conversation from across the entire ballpark. I'm not even kidding. That's how quiet it is in there. And the second that a Cubs pitcher would go out on the field, the entire stadium would start erupting. Banging on their drums, their flags, screaming, doing all these chants. I've never seen anything like that before, and honestly, I thought it was pretty effective because at some points it looked like the Cubs were kind of rattled in the scrimmage games and all that. So that was hilarious. Yeah, and maybe we should start doing that at Wrigley. Who knows? That would be pretty funny and a unique thing about us. I'm just kidding. But regardless, I actually ended up getting a bunch of merch out there. I got a couple hats, a couple jerseys. The MLB store was so packed, you wouldn't believe it. Me and my buddy, we were fortunate enough to get the last Tokyo Series jerseys, and like we got the very last two. So I would have been definitely disappointed if I didn't get those. I was really gunning for the cherry blossom jerseys, but those are a hot commodity. They sold out immediately. And another thing that I found was pretty interesting is that all the Cubs gear was almost completely sold out, and there was a plethora of Dodger gear. Maybe because Shohei Otani is like a superstar out there. He's a prime time guy, so maybe they made so much more of Dodger gear than the Cubs. But yeah, all the Cubs gear was sold out, which was kind of disappointing because I was and looking to get some other things, but I can't complain too much. I definitely made out well. But moving on from that, I'll definitely show you guys some photos and some of the merch later on. But moving on to the actual game yesterday, in Sacramento with the A's, uh, complete blowout. The Cubs offense exploded. Kyle Tucker with another tremendous game. He's so fun watching. Tom Ricketts pay that man anything he wants. The Cubs cannot afford to get rid of Kyle Tucker. And I say that again. The Cubs cannot afford to get rid of Kyle Tucker. You don't trade away a promising young talent like Cam Smith for 1 year of Kyle Tucker and you let Kyle Tucker walk. That's not good baseball. I'm obviously very happy we got Tucker, but I was kind of hoping that Jed Hoyer would maybe ship away some other prospects, some other promising young prospects that we have, maybe like Moses Ballesteros, Owen Casey, you know, Kevin Alcantara, maybe Cade Horton, Josh Rojas. I don't know. The Cubs have a lot of talent in their minor league system. I feel as if we probably should have kept Cam Smith, considering he's a true third baseman, which is what the Cubs needed. But regardless, the trade seems like it's working out very well for the Cubs. Kyle Tucker has been an absolute monster for us. I actually drafted him with my first pick on fantasy, which was awesome because Kyle Tucker is just that good. And I think he's like an underrated superstar of the game. Like not many people talk about Kyle Tucker because maybe he's not as flashy as some other players, but Kyle Tucker is easily a top five, top 10 player in baseball, and there's no argument there. And the fact that the Cubs finally had that guy that they've been missing for so long is so great. You know, it's so great to see a guy like Kyle Tucker on the Cubs. And like I said, Tom Ricketts has to re-sign Tucker. He cannot afford to let him walk. Um, Kyle Tucker in the game, absolutely phenomenal. He went 3 for 6 or 4 for 6 or something like that. Another day, another great game. So outside of Kyle Tucker, we have Carson Kelly, who hit the first Cubs cycle since 1993. The last player to do it was Mark Grace, which is absolutely phenomenal. No one expected Carson Kelly to do this. You'd expect maybe a guy like PCA who could easily leg out a triple, right? But Carson Kelly, a catcher, who would have thought that he would hit for the cycle. So Carson Kelly has been good for us, and so has Miguel Amaya. Excuse me. Last year we saw, or last previous years, since Wilson Contreras left, the catchers have been completely vacant on the offensive side of it. Yeah, we had Yan Gomes. He had a decent year for us, but the Cubs have had little to no production from the catching position for so long now that to start the season this year with Miguel Amaya leading the league in doubles and already has like 8 RBIs or something like that. Carson Kelly hitting for the cycle yesterday. That's huge. That's huge. I'm really hoping that this sticks and that Amaya and Kelly continue to keep producing for the Cubs because that's going to alleviate so much on the top half of that lineup, as well as some of the younger guys like PCA and Matt Shaw. You know, um, If Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya at the bottom of that lineup continue to produce at the rate that they're going, the Cubs are going to make a lot of noise this year. Going to make a lot of noise, a lot of noise. So let's hope that sticks truly. The Cubs are in need of a solid offense for once. Yeah, it's extremely important that Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya continue to hit throughout this season, because one thing, and that's going to benefit Matt Shaw and PCA, right? Matt Shaw and PCA currently are hitting in front of Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya, which means something. And if Miguel Amaya and Carson Kelly are a black hole, right, in this lineup, like how the catching position has been for numerous seasons now, then you're going to see guys like PCA and Matt Shaw not really get pitches to hit because they have an easy out in the freaking ninth hole. So Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya hitting that the way they are, how they started the season, is actually going to help improve PCA and Matt Shaw because pitchers, instead of pitching around them, they actually might see more fastballs in the zone and more like testing the capabilities of Shaw and PCA. So yeah, I think it's very important that our catchers continue to hit at the rate, not like how they're going, and that's not gonna, Carson Kelly's not gonna hit a cycle every single game, but produce something, right? Don't just be a black hole like I really harped about, this entire video. But that leads me into the next part of the video, and I want to talk about PCA here. Everyone knows PCA. PCA, he's a star in the making. The kid is unbelievable. Like his defensive capabilities, his base running IQ, his ability to steal a bag. He's a ball hawk in center field. He catches balls that you wouldn't even think that there's a shot at doing, and yet he still is. PCA has all the makings to be a star, and we saw last year PCA kind of went on a decent tear to where he was hitting the ball pretty damn well with power, speed, and everything. He was finding those gaps. He was driving in runs. But to start the season, we see PCA being very frustrated at the plate, constantly slamming his bats, yelling at himself because and nothing is going his way. He keeps popping up. He keeps popping up the ball and inducing weak contact with the ball. PCA is starting off the season at 4-27. So 4 hits in 27 at bats. That's not good. That amounts to a 148 batting average and a 233 on base percentage. Obviously, that's not going to fly in this league. So if PCA wants to continue to be on the Cubs and not get sent down to the minors, he's going to have to figure something out. And I just want to say again, yes, it's really early in the season, right? PCA is not going to be sent down tomorrow because of his play in the first 8 games of the season. But if this continues to be a trend, then he definitely will be sent down. But hey, what is your guys' opinion on what's happening with PCA? Do you think he's too inside of his mind? Do you think he's trying to do too much at the plate when really he should just be focusing on making solid contact and doing his job? I think that could be the case. I think PCA is trying to play Superman out there, and he's trying to be that guy right now. When it's going to take years to turn into that guy. Not everyone comes into the league guns blazing, right? Like that's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. So PCA has all the talent in the world. I'm not stressed about him, but I do think that he's not playing up to his capabilities, and he's easily frustrated on the field. You can't wear your emotions on your sleeve. You got to be professional. You got to just learn from the bad and turn that into good somehow. And then Matt Shaw. He's he's kind of in the similar boat, but I'm seeing better at bats from Matt Shaw. He had that pinch hit homer, which was absolutely phenomenal. I was watching that with my brother. I'm the biggest Matt Shaw supporter. I'm a huge Matt Shaw fan. I'm very high on the kid. I've been waiting for him to be called up ever since he got drafted. That's how much I like him. So I think Matt Shaw will definitely be a fun part of this lineup for years to come. And yeah, we'll see. We'll continue to watch the development of Shaw and PCA throughout this entire season, and I'll be talking about them a lot. But I do want to jump into one thing, and that's talk about the A's for a second. Um, the A's have been wow, they've been really bad the last few years, like extremely bad. Not only on the major league team on the field, but also in the front office and ownership. So everywhere on that team has been just a complete disaster. Um, Everyone knows the last few years the A's were gearing up to move to Vegas, right, and have a new stadium, move out of Oakland, and the A's fans obviously didn't really find that too lighthearted, so they're protesting the games. No one was showing up to the games. It was just a bad thing. Oakland was trading away all their players. But now we kind of turn the page. They're in Sacramento now, playing at the Yankees minor league and minor league field or whatnot, and they're definitely turning the page. You see that the A's are starting to spend some money. They locked up their superstar player Brent Rooker, right, to a 5-year deal worth like $90 million, which is huge. They locked up Lawrence Butler before he gets expensive until like 2033. You never see the A's do that. They signed Luis Severino in free agency for 3 years, $67 million, which is huge. Luis Severino's a good pitcher, and he proved he's good if he's healthy. You see, Oakland have, or excuse me, the A's have an influx of young talent such as Shea Langoliers, who they got in the Matt Olson trade. They have J.J. Bleday. They have Soderstrom. They have Mason Miller, who's an absolute stud if he stays healthy. So the A's are definitely trending in the right direction, and it's going to be kind of fun to see what they do, because I expect the A's to go into Vegas kind of being a powerhouse. I think that is their mentality. They want to be really good when they get to Vegas. So I think you're going to start seeing the A's spend a lot more money and be in on those, bigger free agents, because they're going to a larger market now where they make far more money, right? Um, so yeah, the A's are definitely no joke. Yeah, the Cubs, beat up on them yesterday, but I don't think that really goes to show, that doesn't really tell the whole story about the A's. Everyone can have a bad game, but yeah. And let me know what you guys think about the Cubs and PCA and Matt Shaw and all that, and the catchers, and what we should do with Kyle Tucker. Do we rely on guys like Owen Casey and Kevin Alcantara in the minor league systems? If Kyle Tucker price gets too high, like what is a high asking price? Is 600 million too high for the Cubs? I don't know. You see guys like Shohei Ohtani, he got 700 million, but he is Shohei Ohtani. You see guys like Juan Soto get 765. Um, is Kyle Tucker that caliber of a player? I think he absolutely is phenomenal. I don't know if I'd want to spend $700 million though. Well, it's not my money; it's the Cubs' money. But 700 million is definitely a lot of money. And Tom Ricketts already went out and said that he doesn't really like those deferred method payments. Which, if the Cubs do end up signing a guy like Tucker to a 600 million deal or 500, that's going to be 50 million. That's gonna be like a 50 mil AAV, or maybe slightly less. So there's definitely a lot to keep watching in that predicament. But I had a lot of fun in this first episode. This episode is obviously my very first, and there's going to be a huge learning curve that goes on. I definitely plan on studying and seeing ways that I can improve. And I also want to rely on you guys to help me improve. You guys share what your dislikes and what your likes are and whatnot, and feedback is definitely appreciated. I appreciate it if you guys could share, like, comment. I don't know, do whatever you want with this video, really. But all right, thanks, guys.